No one should draft Darryn Peterson. I'm going to go further than Stephen A. Smith did. Stephen A. Smith said that Darryn Peterson should not be selected by any team ever at number 1 overall. I'm going to go as far to say as no team should pick him at all, because the behavior he's shown and the complete disregard for the entire Kansas Jayhawks program, a very storied program, is amazing to me. And it's very selfish, and I have no room for that on my team. So if I was in charge of any NBA franchise, any professional basketball franchise, I would not want him on my team. He continues to either pull himself from games or completely sit out games, and I know what it's for. It's because he's the projected number 1 overall pick, and he doesn't want to look bad, and he doesn't want to get hurt. And while I understand that, because there's a lot of money on the line, we've seen in the past teams willing in the NBA to wait on a guy because he can be their guy. And by all accounts of anybody assessing Darryn Peterson's ability, he is that guy. I mean, I've heard comparisons to Kobe Bryant, which that's a little, high of a ceiling. I don't know if we're going to ever get another Kobe, but guys like Kobe, Tracy McGrady, that's his comps. That's what they think he can be in the NBA, that type of elite player, elite athlete and scorer. And he probably can be, except he's a selfish player. And I don't care how good you are. The best ability you can have as a professional athlete is availability. And teams are willing to wait if you get hurt. I don't wish an injury on anybody. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. But Joel Embiid with the Sixers, they were willing to wait 3 years for him to be okay because of the lingering foot issues. Joel Embiid, a Kansas Jayhawk. So people not only trust these star level players, they trust Kansas Jayhawks because Bill Self is a great coach. And shout out to the Jayhawks for being able to win without him several times this year. But I think it is directly attributed to their up and down play where they outplay, an Arizona or a Houston, or a team like that is going to be a top 4 seed in March Madness in a few weeks. But they also lose to teams they shouldn't lose to. So if they had their star player, they probably win a lot of games, and they might be the number 1 team in the country the way they've played at times. Also, shout out to Melvin Council Jr., Rochester, New York native, grew up there, played there. I know a lot of people that had high hopes of him. He also played at my alma mater and John's alma mater, St. Bonaventure. I don't understand why Darryn Peterson thinks that this is a good idea. And if I'm his agent, I'm telling him, dude, you are costing yourself potentially so much. You're risking more not playing than you are playing. But thank you all for joining me. That was my rant on Darryn Peterson. I appreciate you hearing me out there. I hope, out there, if you agree, let me know. If you disagree, let me know where I'm going wrong. But I'm here repping the squad tonight, Cinco Squad here live. And the guys, John and Jay, they are off preparing the Eagles for John and the Bucks for Jay, respectively, for what the teams need in NFL free agency, since that's now kicking off. They've previously, already helped the Yankees and Rays with prepping for spring training, prepping for the WBC. And speaking of the WBC, let's get into that. Team USA, coming off of 2 hockey gold medals. You love to see it. I'm a big fan of Team USA at these international events, and I have full expectations that Team USA is going to win the WBC. I expect nothing less from a roster like this. Aaron Judge, of course, from my favorite team, the New York Yankees, he is the captain of the Yankees, and he is the captain of Team USA, the new Mr. America, although no one can fill the shoes of David Wright in that respect. This is a solid team. Skubal, he's only going to be pitching 1 game, which makes no sense, especially because it's against Great Britain. If you can throw him in the round robin, at least throw him against a team that I expect is going to be competitive. Dominican Republic, Cuba, Japan, teams like that. It's weird that he's not pitching, but that's beside the point because the other best pitcher in the MLB is also American. His name is Paul Skeens, hopefully a future New York Yankee and not a future LA Dodger. If he's not a Yankee, stay in Pittsburgh. Please, Pittsburgh, actually keep him if you're not going to trade him to the Yankees. But I expect Skeens to throw more than 1 game. I expect him to be lights out, and this team is going to win. It is a very talented roster. Now, Japan's got Ohtani. They got Yamamoto. They have a lot of really good players, including Murakami and Akamoto, who are, joining the MLB this year with the White Sox and Blue Jays. I expect that to be the biggest competition for Team USA, but I'm super excited for it to start next Wednesday. I'm excited to see what this team looks like. And the fact that, honestly, a lot of these WBC players should be in great shape when they get back to their MLB teams and should be really ready for the season. So I actually think that the WBC players are going to have a great season overall. Yeah, obviously, it's law of averages. Not everybody coming out of the WBC is going to have a fantastic season. People have down years all the time. But I think there's a much higher chance that they have great seasons playing in the WBC because they're already game ready. They've probably been prepping since December. I was talking off camera, away from the show. I was talking to John about it, and that's what he said to me. He's like, dude, keep an eye on these guys because they've been getting ready for a long time. They're already in midseason condition because they're going to have to play these games for 9 innings, barring a blowout. It's full competitive games, which is what makes the WBC exciting because it's not like an all-star game. It's not like a Pro Bowl or anything like that. It is competitive games. They are playing for something. It's Olympic level type baseball thing. And the fact that baseball is joining the Olympics in 2028, again, as it should always be at the summer games, I want baseball and softball to be a part of it all the time. It's going to be very telling to see where these countries are going to be in 2 years and what maybe new young players we don't know about yet that could contribute heavily to their countries in 2 years at the 2028 games in LA, which will be a great host for Olympic baseball at Dodger Stadium and Angel Stadium. I'm super excited for that. Staying in baseball here, I mentioned the Yankees are my team. They're John's team as well. Very excited for the season. I don't have an issue, as I've previously stated, with the fact that they're running it back because they did revamp the pitching staff, which is what they needed to do. They brought in some new names, maybe not the names we wanted, but it's going to be fresh. And I think they're in an interesting position to be competitive. But with that in mind, with the fact that we want, as fans, the most competitive Yankee team we can get, that competitive Yankee team does not include Jason Dominguez. I'm sorry. The experiment's over. The Martian never landed the way he was supposed to. The bat has been inconsistent, especially from one side of the plate. He was touted as a power threat from both sides. He has not been that. And the defense is abysmal. He looks lost at times in left field. They say he could play all 3 outfield spots. Yeah, he probably understands it, and he can probably read the ball halfway decent, but not at the level that this team needs. Trent Grisham outperformed him last year, and this was the guy that was supposed to barely be the 4th outfielder, and now he's getting paid like a starter. He's going to start in center for most of the season. It's going to be Bellinger, Grisham, and Judge. That's the starting outfield, as it should be, because if Grisham can match half of what he did last year, then you've more than spent the right money on Trent Grisham. But Jason Dominguez needs to be moved. It's over. I know you don't want to be wrong, Brian Cashman. It's like the same thing with Joe Shane and first Dave Gettleman and then Joe Shane and the New York Giants and Daniel Jones. You don't want to be wrong. You want this guy to have not been a bad pick. Sometimes it happens. It's time to move on. And I think Dominguez can be a good player, but not as a Yankee. It's time for a fresh spot. John says all the time, Jamie says it too. They both are big proponents of sometimes you just need a fresh place. And I think Jason Dominguez is that. But who replaces Jason Dominguez on the roster at that point? Easy. Spencer Jones. This is my petition for Spencer Jones to make the team out of camp, barring injury, obviously. He is ready. How much longer does this guy have to wait? You've been sitting on him for 3 years of him being supposedly ready. He's tinkered with his hitting mechanics, and it's worked. He looks a little like Ohtani, but did anybody really see how far and hard he hit the ball in one of the first pitches he saw in a spring game? He hit it a mile. This dude is ready. He's huge. He is a balance of power from the left side to Judge's right side. They said he could be a left-handed Judge, and frankly, it really looks like it. And he's supposed to be a better defensive center fielder than Judge is. And I'm pretty sure Judge was up for, if not won, a Gold Glove in center when he played there. So if Jones can be better than that, fantastic. Get this dude on the team. You can't understand if he's the right guy to trade or keep until you play him at the major league level, until you see and prove to yourself and other teams what Spencer Jones is as a major league baseball player. I'm tired of seeing him sitting in the minors. You started him at AA last year when we all knew he was ready for AAA, at least, if not the big leagues. Start him in Scranton this year. You're going to stunt his growth. You're going to ruin his confidence. And then you're not going to be able to have the player you either want to keep or trade. It's a business. Sometimes there's prospects that you have to move to get better pieces. And for the longest time, years now, as long as I can remember since they drafted him, that's what he was supposed to be. It's either he's going to be a big difference maker at the major league level for the New York Yankees, or he's going to be a major trade piece to get somebody that can be a difference maker at the major league level for the New York Yankees. And so far, you've saddled him with the, will they, won't they? Like, you might be ready, but you might not be. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to keep letting you marinate. Like, no, eventually you got to call him up. Call the dude up, let him play, and let's just see what we've got. What's the worst that could happen? It's a 162 game season. You can afford to have a slow period of April while you're trying to get Spencer Jones going and seeing what you've got, because you can win 100 games. You can have a below 500 April and still win 100 games in a season. It's just asinine to me that we continue to wait on guys like this. You tout how great your prospects are, and then you don't use them. You don't even use them to trade. Like, I know I keep going in circles, but it's just so frustrating to see this organization fall so far. You haven't won a World Series since 2009. And to some teams, that's not that long of a time because you're trying to win one, let alone many. You have 27. So the precedent you've set for this organization and for this team has been you win championships. That's what we do all the time. There is no end result in a season other than a world title that is acceptable for this organization. And yet you sit there and you don't use the pieces that you have, and you get pieces that don't work, that have never worked, and you keep trying over and over and over again. So in a roundabout way, my point is this: Jason Dominguez will not help you. Spencer Jones could help you. You just don't know yet. So let's find out. That's all I've got tonight. Thank you for rocking with me. It was a shorter show tonight, but I just had to get those things off my chest. We'll be back again on Thursday to talk more about what's going on in baseball, NBA, NFL free agency. The NHL's coming back. WBC's coming up. College basketball. There's a whole lot happening with March Madness coming up. I'm super excited for it. Stay tuned to the socials. We're posting content every day. Stick with us. Let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about, and I will see everybody next time.